What is going on, guys? Jack here and welcome to episode 4 of The Final Push, here with Watford in the Sky Bet Championship. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed last episode. As promised, we got 100 likes. You guys smashed what I expected initially. We got 100 likes on the last episode, so here is episode 4. Same again, 100 likes for episode 5 up tomorrow morning. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to that, if we can hit the target, of course. But anyway, let's move on into today's episode. And one transfer that I forgot to mention last episode, I've signed Louis Tomlinson. Now, if you don't know, Louis Tomlinson signed for Doncaster Rovers for a charity thing. I was kind of curious just to see how good he is on FM, so I've signed him. He was on a free transfer. If he's terrible, I might just release him. I might intentionally annoy him at the club to test out some of the new player interactions and stuff, because that's something that Football Manager does really well in terms of kind of allowing you to develop kind of relationships with various people within your Football Manager world. It's almost like a story in many ways that you write. So it could be an interesting one. It was more just curiosity. If it deeply offends you that I've signed someone from One Direction, I apologise profusely. But yeah, it's happened. It's too late. So anyway, with that said, and with that kind of bizarre note, let's move on into today's fixture. We are playing Burnley on the 3rd of December as it is now. It's been 2 months since the last episode. Taking a look at the fixtures, last episode was the Blackburn game, which we lost 2-0. Since then, as you can see, we've been pretty indifferent all in all. We kicked off this sequence of results with our first draw on FM this year against Huddersfield, a game which we were fairly fortunate to get a point out of, it has to be said. Troy Deeney getting the goal for us early on in the second half. They pulled it back level in the second half. In the 74th minute with Danny Ward grabbing a goal for them. In truth, it was a really 50-50 game. Neither team created too many chances, and a draw was a fairly kind of fair result. Following on from this, we had a game against Derby County, won 1-0. Good kind of win, I suppose, against promotion candidates, you know, the kind of team who could definitely be challenging for the playoffs. Good win for us. Irini with the goal for us, which made a big difference. Jedinak had a fairly good captain's performance, but all in all, just a good team performance. Got the win that we needed to get against Derby. Following on from this, we suffered a big loss. 4-0 against Brighton, away from home. Brighton are top of the league. They've only lost one game so far this season. You can see here they performed absolutely amazingly, and in the end, Will Buckley absolutely tore us apart up top for them. So that was a little bit disappointing. Following on from this, we got a 4-2 win against Leicester. Really good result. Shame we couldn't keep the clean sheet, and a shame about our discipline as well. Jedinak getting sent off in the 61st minute. Could have been a nervy last few minutes, but the team did perform really well. 4-2 was definitely a deserved result. It was a bit of a smash and grab in many ways, but considering the fact we were down to 10 men for 30 minutes in the second half, it was a really good, inspiring performance by the team. Troy Deeney grabbing a hat-trick. He was so clinical this game. So far this season, he's been in superb form for us. As you can see here, 17 appearances, 6 goals, 5 assists, average rating is 7.24, is not too shabby at all. I mean, when you look at the leagues and kind of his progress since he's been playing for Watford, whilst it's not quite as good as last season, he's still certainly putting in a shift for the team. So he did well, great hat-trick for him, and a great win as well. Good to get 3 points on the board. Unfortunately for this, our patchy away form did continue as we suffered a 2-1 defeat at the hands of Middlesbrough. Looking at the stats, it was a 50-50 game, but again, we really didn't control possession, and this is something I'll come on to with the tactics shortly. It's been tough. It really has been tricky trying to get some tactics that are going to work for me. I've been fiddling and twiddling, and I think I have something that's going to work, but we'll move on to it in a second. Anyway, on the back of this, our home form continued to be fairly solid. Lassard grabbing us the goal in a 1-0 win against Bolton. Another really 50-50 game, but we got the win that we needed and we ran away with it in the end with the second half goal. Unfortunately for us, again, another really disappointing performance. Jedinak being sent off for the 3rd time this season, which is a real worry for me, his discipline. He's been warned about it, and yeah, I've got to really consider what I'm going to do about this, because he's been sent off 3 times so far this season. But as you can see here, 2-0 defeat against Yeovil. They are bottom of the league, and even with 10 men, that result is anything but acceptable. So I was very bitterly disappointed by that. So what those fixtures means is, as we look at the league, we find ourselves in 5th place. As I mentioned, Brighton are storming away with the league. They're kind of pulling clear. We're still within touching distance of Reading, who are in 2nd, which is good to see. And at the moment, the league is still incredibly tight, and a few losses here or there could see any team kind of slip up or move around. In terms of the teams around us, we've already played Derby, Bolton, Middlesbrough, Charlton, Leicester, Reading and Brighton, and the last few games that we've got to kind of, I guess, end up and summarise and finish up the kind of latter half of the season are fairly kind ties on us. So I'm really hoping we can turn around our fortunes in this kind of last few games that we have in this kind of sequence of results, I suppose, to round up the end of the year. Looking at the squad, we have been struggling with injuries. I can't say his name. I'm just going to cry. Forestieri, is that right? Forestieri, there we go, boom. 5 times lucky. I think that was the 5th time. Maybe I can't even count. But anyway, he is injured. You can see here, he is out for 4 weeks with a pulled hamstring. He's been out for a little while. Fabrini is out with a damaged kneecap and has been for a while. So we are kind of missing some key first-team players. In terms of the tactics, as I mentioned, they have been kind of fiddled around a lot. And I'm still not happy with these tactics. I can't get something that works. It's a case of fiddling. I can't seem to get that balance between being able to defend and attack. And because I didn't sign too many players in the transfer window, it wasn't like I focused on specific areas. One big thing that the team lacks really is natural fullbacks. And by this point, I'd normally switch to 4 at the back, but I'm adamant that I want to try 3 centre-backs. But it's a manner, I guess, and a way, and the effort that goes into getting a 3 at the back formation to work. So you can see what we've got here again. I'm not entirely sure what it was in the last episode because I have been changing it so much. But we've gone back to what we had at the start of the season. The difference being that one of the midfielders drops slightly deeper and then Abdi is set to deep line playmaker on defend. The reason for this being is by sitting on defend he will sit back a little, and whilst Irini will start further back, he will just drift forward and kind of form a little, partnership alongside Abdi in the attacking phases of play. In terms of player instructions, I've kind of fiddled with some stuff. You can see here I've added a few bits and pieces. This is an area of the tactic system that I haven't really fiddled with too much, but I've just decided to add some basic instructions which I think are going to help our players this game. So we're going to see how it gets on. This is my first time trialling this kind of isometric tactic with kind of not a flat midfield. It'll be interesting to see how it gets on. I've also changed some of the team instructions, more expressive, lower tempo and retain possession are the main things. One thing I noticed was we were trying to play possession football, and if I just show you the fixtures that we lost, these were all games where we didn't necessarily have the most of the possession, which is a problem. You cannot play possession football with 34% possession or 33%. It fundamentally doesn't work, and so what I'm now trying to do is I'm trying to work out where are we losing the ball, and the kind of realisation I'm having is the fact that our defenders and midfielders simply aren't playing the ball too well. So we've got a few new instructions set. For example, I've got both central midfielders set to risk fewer risky passes. I'm hoping that's going to benefit us. The other thing I've got is set on Irini is pass ball shorter. The aim of our tactic is still to play the short passing game if we can. It's about trying to get more of the ball. So one of the kind of new things that we've got added in this tactic is the fact that our keeper is going to be always trying to find Irini or Murray, and from there we can build up attacks. So anyway, it's going to be interesting to see how we get on there. Looking at a team, fairly strong team despite the injuries. Players have been performing well, it has to be said. I mean, if I just quickly show you the goalkeepers, if I just quickly show you this is a glitch, by the way. I don't know why this is happening, but it is. We'll just leave it like this. What was I going to say? If we just look at goal scorers quickly, you can see Lassard and Deeney both have 7 goals each, which is pretty decent going. If I insert column stats, where is assists? There it is. In terms of assists, you can see here who's been contributing. Deeney and Forestieri both been kind of key players, I guess, in our build-up play. It's unfortunate that Forestieri is out injured at the moment, as it is kind of a miss for us because he does play that Eganche role so well, but it has opened up the door for Sean Murray to come in and have a go at playing this role for us. So anyway, we have got a game today against Burnley. We are playing away from home. Looking at the league table, Burnley currently find themselves 18th. So ourselves as a team in, 5th place. This is the kind of game we absolutely have to win. It's of kind of paramount importance. It's been really interesting how close the league has been this season. I mean, we've slipped up a lot of times, and luckily for us, it hasn't really cost us as much as it potentially could have done, simply because teams are losing to one another quite a lot. But This is the kind of game where we have to win it. If we want to be in the playoffs, you have to be beating the teams in the bottom quarter of the table, and that's exactly what we're going to aim to do here. So, we are away from home. As I mentioned, our away form has been really patchy. We've certainly been struggling with it, just not getting enough of the ball, but you can already see here, 60% of possession is really good. No chance has been created just yet as we go into half-time. Pretty boring game thus far. Hopefully the second half will be a performance. Improvement even. I'm happy with the performance so far. Let's see if we can inspire the team. Looks like the team is loving that team talk. I'm going to change some instructions, I think. I'm going to set work ball into the box and pass ball into space. Really trying to attack. They've got a chance here. Ings has just scored for them. Wow. That is not what we needed. 60 seconds in. Burnley, with their fourth shot on goal, grabbed the goal that they kind of deserved almost. Despite the fact we've been dominating possession, just no kind of real chances being made. We need a goal here. 51 minutes in, and Ings is through again. Can we stop him? Of course we can't. He bangs in a second goal for him and for Burnley. Time to bring on Adriano. This is the game changer. I'm actually going to be changing the tactics, I believe. We need to go a little bit more attacking. We're not doing enough with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch Murray to attacking midfielder, set to attack. Irini's going to come slightly further forward, as is Abdi, who I'm actually going to set to advanced playmaker. And we're going to go for it. We're going to go for it. Why not? 2 goals down. 40 minutes to change our fortunes around. Going to be interesting to see how we get on here. But we have to go for it, and we have got a set piece here. Murray whips in the ball. Can anyone win it? No, they can't. This is going to be a counter-attack now. Surely not. Hopefully we can defend this. Ings gives away the ball. It'd be interesting to see how these changes work for us. I've not tried an attacking midfielder instead of a Ganche yet. So maybe this will be the thing that turns around our fortunes. Maybe these kind of tiny changes are the ones that make a big difference. We are on the attack here. Pudil, options in the centre. Can he do anything with it? What a run. What a hit. What a goal. The Czech Republic international grabbing his, I think that's like his 3rd or 4th goal of the season. And now we have a set piece here. Murray, get it in. Unfortunately for us, nothing going to come of it, but the ball is not cleared. Let's get it back in the books, Pudil. And we give away the ball. Ings working back well here. This is where we have to be really wary, especially committing midfielders up. There's just no one back for us. Get the tackle in. No one can get it in, but Ujkani comes huge. Great goalkeeping by him. And now we have to defend the set piece. Jones, get it out, lads. That'll do. Potential counter-attack on. All the highlights just going to end. I'm not sure which. I'm hoping it's going to be a chance for us. Murray breaking through, gets the ball forward. Adriano, he can't get on the end of it. He's not got the spring in his step he once had to get forward with pace, Adriano. But at the moment, we're not playing too bad. Certainly looked a little bit brighter since we made some changes in terms of just creating a few more chances, and we're still keeping the hold of the ball, which has been one of the big problems for us this season. Struggling to have possession away from home, but at the moment, so far so good. But we need to show a bit more attacking intent, and Burnley on the attack here. Can we defend it? Headed away nicely. Burnley still committing a few men upfield, so we may well be able to counter here as we've got plenty of men up in the attack. Murray is here. What a finish by the 19-year-old. That is his 2nd goal of the season, making it 2-2. Great comeback. The changes look like they are certainly working for us at the moment. Good to see the possession stat in our favour for once away from home, and maybe we can go on, just maybe, and grab the goal that could be the winner to complete the comeback. Anyway, Burnley on the attack here. They've got a chance. Wallace whips in the ball. Great save by Ujkani again. He's been huge in a few of these games. There was an episode not long back where he made some amazing saves. So far this match, he's been another star player for us. His rating doesn't reflect that, but he's just made some key saves. 30 seconds left. Is there a late twist, or is this going to just be a really good fight back for a key point? I'm hoping that we can hold it out now, really. Good win. I can't imagine there's going to be too much more to come here from Turf Moor. That should be the game, and to be honest, 2-2 is a pleasing result. I have to take my hat off to the team. We tried something new in terms of trying to get a bit more possession. Maybe now I can look to get this a team formation to have a little bit more attacking intent, but it's not a bad result by any means to get 2-2. Ings did get man of the match for them. Looking at the other games in our league, Bolton lost, Brighton drew. Few of the teams at the top look like they might have slipped up. Looking at the table, we're still 5th, and we're still within touching distance of Reading, and we've got a few more points and pulled slightly ahead of some of the teams around us. Middlesbrough and Derby do both have games in hand, and if they were both to win, they'd go above us, so hopefully that is not going to happen. But to be honest, 5th is still a fairly decent reflection, I think, of how we're performing. We're conceding too many goals, and I'm having to change around the system a fair bit to, I guess, compensate for the fact that I'm trying to really get something that's going to be solid game in and game out, and at the moment it's just been a sequence of inconsistent performances. I'm definitely going to change the Enganche to an attacking midfielder, but I think I'm going to stick with the rest of the shape the same off the back of this game. Looking at the fixtures coming up, the next big one that stands out to me is against QPR, so I think that's going to be the game that we do next. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. I'm hoping FM is not about to crash on me. Okay, I have had this game crash on me a few times. But no, so far so good. Looking at fixtures, as I mentioned, I think QPR is going to be the next game. That's on the Sunday, the 29th of December, so there's a fair few games to come before that, so we should have a good idea of where we are come the halfway mark in the season. But anyway, guys, that does wrap everything up for today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. As I mentioned at the start, 100 likes, and I will be uploading another video first thing tomorrow morning. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. And other than that, guys, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.